That's all it took to end the career of Britain's Prime Minister. And the man who destroyed him? He didn't even have to say a thing. This is the story of how Keir Starmer's insult to King Charles leaked from a private cabinet meeting, ignited a constitutional firestorm, and triggered the fastest political collapse in modern British history. It all began with something unusual, a private meeting inside Windsor Castle. King Charles invited Nigel Farage and senior Reform UK figures for a discreet conversation about Britain's future. No cameras, no ceremony, no statement afterward, just quiet words about the direction of the country. When that news leaked, Westminster went into meltdown. For Keir Starmer, already facing doubts about his leadership, the optics were devastating. Here was the monarch, meeting quietly with his biggest political rival. The symbolism was impossible to ignore. Starmer's fury boiled over. Behind the doors of number 10, he summoned his cabinet for an emergency meeting. Ministers filed into the room, tense, uneasy. Starmer paced furiously. And then, in a moment of anger that would define his career, he spat out words no British Prime Minister had ever dared to say aloud. The monarchy is nothing but elderly men in elaborate costumes pretending to matter. Silence. Ministers exchanged horrified looks. In that instant, everyone knew they had just witnessed a career-ending mistake. The leak came within hours. By nightfall, journalists had the story. By morning, every headline screamed the same message. Prime Minister mocks the crown. Social media erupted. Memes portrayed Starmer as a Republican radical. Hashtags like #RespectTheCrown and #StarmerMustGo dominated trends. A viral video summed up the national mood. A lifelong Labour voter, close to tears, saying, "I voted Labour all my life. But insulting our king? That's not leadership. That's betrayal." It wasn't just social media. Polling confirmed the disaster. Within 48 hours, nearly 3/4 of Britons said Starmer had gone too far. Over half of Labour's own supporters said they no longer trusted him to lead. Labour's heartlands erupted in fury. Union leaders faced angry calls from members. Local officers were swamped with complaints. Lifelong activists tore up their membership cards. And through it all, King Charles said nothing. That silence was devastating. While Starmer flailed on TV, stumbling through apologies, the king carried on with quiet dignity, meeting charities, visiting communities, calmly fulfilling his role. Commentators noticed the contrast instantly. One man looked like a statesman. The other looked like a leader unraveling in real time. And as Starmer crumbled, Nigel Farage rose. Standing outside Reform UK headquarters, Union Jacks behind him, he delivered a speech that electrified the nation. When others insult our king, we honor him. When others mock our history, we defend it. And when others try to tear down what makes us British, we stand proud and say, "Not on our watch." The crowd erupted. The footage went viral. Within days, Reform UK's membership quadrupled. Donations poured in. Local offices opened in towns where the party had never existed. Polls showed the unthinkable. Reform UK overtaking Labour in some areas. Inside Labour HQ, chaos reigned. Ministers formed secret WhatsApp groups, openly discussing a coup. Rachel Reeves and Angela Rayner positioned themselves as successors. Diane Abbott, long sidelined, called Starmer's leadership an existential crisis. Resignations followed. Within 48 hours, 7 frontbench ministers had quit. Donors pulled funding. Protesters chanted outside Parliament, "Respect the crown. Remove Starmer now." And then came the king's move. A simple 31-word statement on the palace website. His Majesty remains steadfast in his commitment to serve all citizens of the United Kingdom without prejudice and with enduring respect for our nation's institutions. No mention of Starmer, but everyone knew. It was a royal rebuke, calm, devastating, and final. Analysts called it checkmate. Crowds gathered outside Buckingham Palace, waving Union Jacks, singing "God Save the King." Meanwhile, inside number 10, Starmer sat alone, staring at the statement that had ended his career. He refused to resign at first. He told aides, "I won't be forced out by a crown. I was elected by party members, not royal decree." But by then, it was too late. Britain had already made up its mind. In just 10 days, Labour collapsed from dominant force to fractured ruin. The Conservatives surged in the polls. Reform UK soared to nearly 30%. For the first time, Nigel Farage looked like a real contender for leader of the opposition. One insult, 10 days, an entire government brought to its knees. And the lesson? In Britain, some institutions are beyond politics. Some traditions aren't relics. They're the foundations that hold the nation together. King Charles proved a profound truth. Sometimes, true power doesn't need to shout. It doesn't need to defend itself. It simply stands calm, unshakable, while those who mock it destroy themselves. So, what do you think? Should Keir Starmer resign immediately? Could Labour ever recover from this crisis? Or has one insult ended the party as a major force in British politics? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay ahead of the biggest political shocks as they happen, hit that subscribe button. Because in today's Britain, the impossible is happening every single day.